Hello everyone. In a previous video that you can find in the description, I explained how to create your first ASP.NET Core web application. In this video, I will show you how to fill HTML table from SQL Server database using ASP.NET. So let's create a new project. In this window, we have to select C# and also we have to select Web. Then we have to select this option. It is ASP.NET Core Web Application. Now let's click on Next. So let's call this project Web Store. Then let's click Next. In this window, we can select the latest version of the .NET Core framework, and also we can disable the HTTPS. Then let's click on Create. Now let's connect to the SQL Server and let's create a new database. So we have just to click on Server Explorer. So if we don't find this option here, then we have to click on View, then Server Explorer. So here we need to create a new connection. So let's click on this button. And in this window, we have to select Microsoft SQL Server. Now let's click on OK. So here we have to provide the server name. In my case, it is installed on my computer, so I have to write dot. Then I have to provide the instance name, which is SQL Express. So for more information how to find the instance name, you can see the video link that is available in the description. Now let's create a new database. I will call it Web Store. Now let's click on OK. So this database does not exist and I want to create it. So let's click on Yes. Let's expand the connection and tables. So we don't have any table. Let's create a new table. So we need to make a right click. Then add a new table. So let's call this table Clients. By default, it contains the ID. Let's select it. And I want to make it auto-incremental. So let's go to the properties. Then let's expand identity and let's change it to true. Then let's create new columns. And let's create this table. So let's click on update. Then update database. Now the database has been created, so we can close this page. And here we need to refresh the connection to find the table. So let's make right click, then refresh. And here we have this table. So to add some data to this table, we have to make right click, then show table data. Now let's add some rows into this table. Now we can close this page and also we can hide the Explorer. So this is our project. It contains some pages in the pages folder and we can run it. So let's select IIS Express and let's click on this button. So this is the default application. It contains two items, Home and Privacy. We can click on Privacy. And here we obtain this page. So this page is accessible at this URL which ends with privacy. So I need to create a new page and also I need to add a new item here called Clients. So let's close this navigator. Then let's create a new Razor page. So we have to make a right click on the Pages folder, then Add, then Razor page. So here let's select Razor page empty and let's click on Add. In this window, let's select Razor page empty and let's call it Clients. So the extension is CS/HTML. Now let's click on Add. So this page has been created and also we have this model. So this is the view and this is the model. To open the model, we can make double click on this file. or also we can make a right click, then view code. So this is the model, and we have the onGet method, which is executed when we access to the page. So to find the page, which is clients.cs HTML, we can make a right click, then go to page. So in this page, which is the view, we can write the HTML code. So let's add the title of this page. And also let's add an item of this page into the menu of the application. So we have just to go to shared, and here we have to open this file. So this is the template of the application, and here we have the different items. So let's copy this item and let's paste it just here. Now let's change the name of this item. Let's call it client. And of course, this page is accessible at the URL, which ends with the name of the page, which is clients. Now let's run the application. And here we have this new item. Let's click on it, and we obtain this page. Now let's close the browser. And to be able to read the data from the database, we need to install a new package. So let's make a right click on the name of the project, then manage NuGet packages. Then let's click on browse. And in the search field, we have to type system.data.sql client. So this is the package that we need to install. It is from Microsoft. So let's click on it and let's click on install. Then OK. Then I accept. Now the package is installed correctly, so we can close this page. Then let's go to the model, which is this file. It is called clients.cshtml.cs. So here the onGet method will be executed when we access to the page. So we need to read the data from the database and to put them into a list. So first let's create a class called client.info, which will contain the data from the database. So here after this class, I will create a new class. Then let's create public variables that will contain the data from the database. Now in the model, let's create a list. So this list is called list clients, and it is a list of client info, which is this class. Now let's implement the onGet method. So in the onGet method, we need first to connect to the database. So let's add try catch block. Then in the try, we need to connect to the database. So first we need to create the connection string. So we can obtain the connection string from our connection to the server. So let's click on Server Explorer. Then let's click on this connection. And here we can find the connection string in the properties. So let's copy this connection string. And let's paste it just here. And to fix this error, we need to add a second slash. Now let's create the connection with the database. So here we can see that we have this error. This is because we need to import the required class. So here we have to add this package. Now let's open the connection. Then let's create the SQL query. So here I want to select all the data from the clients table. Then let's create the SQL command. Then let's create the SQL data reader. So here we need to read the data using the while loop. So here I need to create a new object of type client info, which will store the data from the database. Now let's fill this object from the database. And finally, let's add this object into our list, which is this one. So the page is displayed after the execution of this method. And also we can see that this object is public, so we can access it into the page. Now let's go to the page, so we have to make a right click, then go to page. So in this page we can first create a new button that allows us to add a new client. Of course, this link is not available for the moment, and the button is called New Client. Now let's add the table. Then let's add the head of this table. So here we have 6 columns. Now let's add the body of this table. So for the moment the body contains only one row, and I need to surround this row with a for each loop to be able to fill the table. So here I will read the different clients from the list of clients which is defined in the model. And to be able to access this variable, I need to use the class model. Now let's fill the row using the client object. So in the last column, which is the action, I want to create 2 buttons. One button that allows me to edit the client and another button that allows me to delete the client. So these 2 buttons will take us to these 2 URLs, this one and this one, which are not defined for the moment. Now let's run the application. Then let's click on clients. And here we obtain this table which contains the data from the SQL Server database. In the next video I will show you how to create a new client, how to edit a client, and also how to delete a client.